tan inverse 1 plus cos inverse minus half plus sin inverse minus half. Pause the video. Try evaluating this expression. Okay, let's do this together. Now, to solve this, we need to find the principal value for each of these inverse functions. For that, I use this visual. On top left, we have the second quadrant. This is where sine is positive. Bottom right is where cos is positive. And this is where all ratios are positive. So to get the principal value for these inverse functions, we take two quadrants. For sine, we take the first one and the fourth one. Positive values sit in the first quadrant and negative values sit in the fourth quadrant. For cos, we have the first and second quadrant. Positive values in the first one and negative values in the second one. We have the first and the fourth for tan and cosec, and we have the first and second for sec and cot. Now with this visual, let's tackle this problem. Tan inverse 1. Let's write these three inverse functions: tan inverse 1, cos inverse minus half, and sine inverse minus half. Let's look at tan inverse 1. We're looking for an angle that has tan equal to 1 and that sits either in the first or the fourth quadrant. 1 is positive. This means our angle is positive. This sits in the first quadrant. What about cos inverse minus half? The range for cos inverse is first and second quadrant. This value is negative, which means we're looking for an angle that is in second quadrant. Let's look at sine inverse minus half. Again, the value is negative. This means we're looking at an angle that is in the fourth quadrant. So now we have the quadrants, we need to figure out the angles. Which angle in the first quadrant has tan equal to 1? Tan of theta equals to 1. What's the value of theta? Now that's equal to pi by 4, because tan pi by 4 or 45 degrees, that's equal to 1. So theta is pi by 4. This is in first quadrant. Tan inverse 1 is equal to pi by 4. Next one, cos inverse minus half. Which angle theta in the second quadrant has cos equal to minus half? Now cos theta is half at 60 degrees, which is pi by 3. So this means cos theta equals to minus cos of pi by 3. Now we can apply trigo here. We can take this negative sign inside. Cos of pi minus pi by 3 is same as minus cos pi by 3. So if we compare, we can see that theta is equal to pi minus pi by 3 or 2 pi by 3. This angle is in the second quadrant. Cos of 2 pi by 3 is equal to minus half. So principal value for cos inverse minus half, that's equal to 2 pi by 3. Third one, sine inverse minus half. We need an angle theta in the fourth quadrant for which sine theta is equal to minus half. Now sine theta is half for 30 degrees, which is pi by 6, which means it's minus 30 degrees or minus pi by 6 for minus half. Sine theta is equal to minus sine pi by 6, or we can say that sine theta equals to sine minus pi by 6. Comparing, we can see that theta is equal to minus pi by 6. So the principal value for sine inverse minus half, that's minus pi by 6. So we have these three values. We have to just plug in and add. So tan inverse 1 plus cos inverse minus half plus sine inverse minus half, that's equal to pi by 4 plus 2 pi by 3 plus minus pi by 6. Now we can take the LCM. 4 and 3, 12. So this is 12. The LCM is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So this is 3 pi. 3 times 4 is 12. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 pi. Minus 6 times 2 is 12. Minus 2 pi. Taking pi common, we have 3 plus 8 minus 2. That's 11 minus 2. So we have 9 pi by 12. Cancelling by 3, we have 3 pi by 4. That's the answer. Let's solve another one. Tan inverse root 3 minus sec inverse minus 2. Pause the video, give this a try. Okay, let's write the inverse functions. Tan inverse root 3 and sec inverse minus 2. Let's find the quadrants first. Tan inverse root 3. So this is positive, which means we're looking for an angle in the first quadrant. Sec inverse minus 2. This is negative, which means we're looking for an angle in the second quadrant. All right. Now for which angle theta do we have tan theta equals to root 3? This theta should be in first quadrant. That's pi by 3, 60 degrees. Tan 60 is root 3. So tan theta is tan pi by 3, which means theta equals to pi by 3. So the principal value for tan inverse root 3 is equal to pi by 3. Again, for which value theta in the second quadrant do we have sec theta as minus 2? Sec is the reciprocal for cos. So cos theta is minus half. Cos is half at pi by 3. This means this is sec theta equals to minus sec of pi by 3. Again, applying trigo, we can take the negative sign inside. sec theta equals to sec of pi minus pi by 3. This is 2 pi by 3, which is in the second quadrant. So the principal value for this inverse function is 2 pi by 3. Now we need to subtract. This minus this is equal to pi by 3 minus 2 pi by 3. That's going to be equal to minus pi by 3.